You drank? Oh no, you said you still got
I still got 2
3 more.
now. So whenever we do a show, on the next show, when you come to the new crib,
Yeah,
you
you
come
do
out
it.
here for a show, we could do 2 of them.
Yeah, welcome to Beers and Bars.
Your place for rapid fire hip hop discussion and, of course, great beer.
I'm Kamal Kiddo.
OT the Golden Child. Thank y'all for checking out. Well, it's been a minute at this point as far as the episode is concerned. So I can't even say thank you for checking out the last episode because I don't even remember when it was. However, life is starting to settle down a bit, meaning that you're about to start getting more and more content throughout the summer. Some in-person shows, which is what we like to do. But if you're listening on the app right now or Spotify, wherever you listen at, you don't know yet, we have a guest, I think the 3rd or 4th time on the show. Our homie Dan from Laylow up in Toronto is with us for our annual, at this point, right?
Hell yeah, annual.
Halfway point show playlist. We're going to do some best verse, best track, best album, who win in the year, all that kind of cool stuff as it is June of 2024. So Dan, shout out to you. Shout out to Dan for stopping through again, man.
Ready to be back. Happy to be back.
Yo, while we're here, before we get going with our halfway point show and talking about all the music related stuff as well as the Laylow related stuff, everything that Dan has going on, what are we drinking, fellas? What are we drinking?
Well, what 2 of us is drinking, we'll let Dan.
Let's do it.
This is my fault though. So go ahead, Dan. Talk about it, man.
So we shut down the doors of Laylow in December with the idea that we are going to put all of our money in one basket and start brewing our larger contract brews. So this is kind of like the rebirth of Laylow right here. This is kind of like we've been around for a long time, but we're coming back like we just rebranded in a sense. So this is the introductory beer for the masses. I mean, everything else has always been available solely at Laylow at our location. Now we're available in about 16, 25 bars ish now in the city. We deliver just Ontario wide, but we can ship now Canada wide. This is the Zenith. This is like kind of the staple. This was our best seller through all those 8 years of being at 1144 College Street. It's Belgian golden ale. It's 6.3 ABV. It's very light. It's very crisp. It's got great notes of like white wine and pear, bubble gum.
100%.
And it's a ridiculous brew. It's just incredibly strong for such a light, tasty beer. It really does creep up on you for that sense. But yeah, this is our baby. This was the one everyone wanted to see. We're going to be brewing more of our flavors probably in the next month. The goal is to get to our main 4 staples, but the golden ale was kind of always a shout out to the golden era of hip hop. And the Zenith is that, that Zenith moment of hip hop was in about the 80s, that when it was like kind of that, that skyrocket point of like, is this as good as it gets? And it was kind of that moment of like, wow, this is hip hop is born. So we kind of named it after the golden era, which is the golden ale. But yeah, we're super excited. I mean, it literally feels like we just started all over again. So it's a big deal for us to be out there again and people drinking our beer. It's summertime, so we're seeing it move and people posting and tagging about it constantly. Yeah, man, I'm happy I got it to you guys. A big shout out to my boy Craig, who has another podcast called Beer and Other Shit, who was able to ship that for me.
Shout out Craig. There we go.
Yeah, shout out Craig, man. I'm still waiting to get mine from OT, but in the meantime, I'm having Old Nation Brewing. It's a Shandy. It's a German style lager with lemonade. It's a 4.8 ABV. It's made in Michigan. This is reminiscent of a warm summer day. Old Nation Shandy is a perfect blend of our house-made lemonade and classic Hell's Lager, crafting a sunny libation for any occasion. Shandy balances crisp and sweet, presenting a subtle bitterness harmoniously paired with delicate notes of honey hops and the unmistakable zest of lemonade.
What that's some
Yeah.
That's chat GBT. Come on.
Let me just say that is perfect for today because it is a
It's a
high of
sport.
95 degrees here within the Chicagoland area. So we
It's
Woo!
very hot out here today. Yeah.
We're getting that heat there today too. I think we're up in like, well, with Celsius, we're about 30 degrees today. So
okay.
it's
Oh
very hot.
man.
That's
But
good.
I just want to say that, it's not because Dan is on the show that I'm gonna say that, this beer is very fucking good, right? I'm
Yes.
not just trying to cap because no, like I had so then they got shipped to me. Um and I was like, I gotta have one. And I cracked that boy open after I refrigerated it and whatnot. And I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, this is pretty good. Now, and I do like Belgians. This joint is just good. You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all for this creation, man, for real.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, cheers. Yo, so while we're on the conversation of Laylow, let's talk about the journey thus far. You all opened the Laylow doors how long ago?
We opened the doors in 2016. Yeah. Like
And
September.
and when you in 2016. Oh wow, okay. And so you had to make the hard decision to close the doors. Um, can you talk about that transition into the decisions that went into closing the doors, but still starting to can beers?
Yeah. I mean, obviously anything you create and trying to like walk away from is never easy. It was kind of something we had thought about kind of subliminally throughout COVID, actually.
Mhm.
There was always this kind of wonder of like, if the world ends or if things go sideways, what are we actually going to do? And that was just kind of a constant thing to think about all the time. If this was all taken away from us in a heartbeat, especially with like the food industry and the beer industry and like the way things were looking at the time while COVID was going on and no one was really going out for a while, it was kind of that moment of like, what is another version of this that we could maybe work with our community that still allows us to do what we want to do.
Mhm.
So there was a constant thought process to that. I think as things got easier and the world started to open up more, we started to see the light of, oh man, like everything's getting better. We're on our way up. We're going to become a music venue. Things started to
Mhm.
really look really good. But I mean, in truth, and like no one wants to hear it, it's really expensive to run a business, man. And there's a lot of overhead, and a lot of people don't like really think about like how much it really costs to keep things afloat consistently. You know, our city, Toronto, is incredibly expensive to live for groceries. I mean, just everyday living, quality of life is really
Mhm.
hard. So we just had to really, reassess our lives and what was more important and how we could kind of adapt to maybe not having a brick and mortar. But yeah, I mean, you go out in the city and you'll be like, why is this burger $25? And be like, well, because rent is crazy. So
Right.
you kind of had to do that. Um, so yeah, it wasn't an easy decision, but because we had thought about it for years about potentially closing, we had a plan B ready for that moment, and that was to keep the brand moving, continue to make product, and eventually sign up with another brewery to contract brew our beers. So we're basically not paying rent. Mostly everything is a profit or going towards the next brew or the next product or the next event. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, having no overhead, kind of nice. I mean, there's just no bills to be worrying about right now. So it's it wasn't easy, but the transition has been kind of beautiful. It's like
Mm.
seeing the brand kind of living and breathing by itself without the space, and just everyone who was a part of it is still connected and talking
Mhm.
together and working together, and wearing the L's, and it's kind of become a thing.
Word, word. That's good to hear that um, the spirit of the brewery is still active without the physical brick and mortar store being there. Uh,
Yeah.
the L still living, the shirts and merch still moving around. I know you all are where you all are right now, but do you foresee having another brewery in the future?
I see I see something. I see maybe not necessarily a brewery, because that, I mean, that is like that is a huge investment, and that's a lot of work, and kind of there's a lot of groundwork to be done for something like that, and a lot of capital that needs to be built up. But
Mm-hmm.
I do see um I do see us opening up a shop, which doesn't necessarily have to be a brewery, because we could contract brew um, on a better pay tab to do something like that, and then have money to run a shop that's more like Laylow curated. So it's vinyl, it's books on hip hop, it's artwork from our community. It's a bottle shop. Maybe there's a tasting opportunity, or maybe we do tastings once in a while. But I kind of want to use a space now as a bit of a everything. I would love a shop that I can use as kind of a studio as well.
Yeah.
So maybe I can record like our own tiny desks, and record our own ciphers, and kind of just utilize the space better, which is what COVID kind of taught me, is that my bar what didn't have to just be a bar. It could be literally anything I wanted it to be, and I could set the hours that I wanted to have whenever I wanted. So I think if you just get rid of the bar aspect,
Yeah.
maybe that's kind of what I'm chasing. I think obviously too, like with the kids, happy belated Father's Day to both of you.
Yes, yes. Happy
Um,
belated Father's
yeah,
Day.
I
Yes.
feel like just having a bit of a normal hourly day, and not forcing myself to be working so late, the late hours. Like, bar life doesn't necessarily have to be like that, but I do feel like there is a version where I'm still doing all those things, but maybe it's just on a bit more of a mature timetable.
Hmm. I feel you. I feel you.
Man, that just spoke. That just spoke right there.
Yeah.
That man, for real, for real.
Yeah, yeah. So what beers did you release? You released didn't I may be mistaken, but did you release three different beers, or is it all the same beer with three different colors of cans?
Like just this most recent one. This is the first release of like the new era of Laylow. So the Zenith is the first. We like in the past, our history of beer releases, we've probably done about, I'm gonna say, like 20-ish styles that we've kind of worked on. But just kind of scoping it down to like our top six, top four. We
Mhm.
just want to do that. We want to just kind of get our staples done, and then eventually get to a point where maybe we're selling a case of a mix pack
Gotcha,
of
gotcha.
our top four brews. Um, but yeah, we just have the Belgian Golden Ale right now. We're most likely going to jump into the Belgian wit beer with hibiscus. Um, then
Mm.
we're going to do the Vienna Lager, the Northern Touch, and then the fourth, we're still undecided. We do have a stout. We may opt to do our Belgian Pale Ale. We might have to make this kind of a voting thing, because it's like picking a top five, uh, rappers list. It's just when we're
Yeah.
trying to pick the last one, it's very frustrating. We're like, oh, but this one's really good too, and this one's good too. We're very, very dedicated to the three that we know, but the fourth
Mhm.
one, we just have to kind of come together to an agreement. But yeah, it's coming.
Right on, right on. Um, let's get into some music. Let's get into some music. I'm gonna come back to Laylo, but let's get into some music.
It's been a
Um,
good year.
yes. Where do we want to start, fellas?
I,
Where? do we want to start?
I think we just catch people up first of all on what we do and how we come up with this. So first off, what's the genesis of this is kind of we create a playlist every year, typically for the middle of the year, then definitely the end of the year each time.
Yeah.
So right now, we have how many songs right now? I mean, Kamal is still adding
I
songs.
just added
20
right. I
minutes to
just
go.
added.
No, Kamal's on the show right now, adding in the WhatsApp, like, yo,
as we speak.
so that's the first thing. We really like creating a playlist that's fire. But outside of that, I think we should just start first. So what we're going to be talking about is best verse, best track, best album, and who's winning the year so far. And then we're going to release the playlist, But I guess let's start with just best verse. Like, what's some of your favorite verses of the year? What is the best verse? Since I'm talking, I'll just say right now, I got two.
Okay.
I think my best verse, or the best verse right now for me, I do like Freddie Gibbs' verse on Back to Me, which is on the Kanye joint. I think he's rapping his ass off, but at the same time, if I had to do an honorable mention, which is why I have Yearn on there, Schoolboy Q is rapping on Yearn. Schoolboy is rapping on Yearn. But I think Freddie Gibbs right now, he is floating all over them hard drums. He's just killing that joint. You know what I'm saying? So Freddie Gibbs right now, that's my favorite verse of the year. Back to Me, Kanye's album. There you go.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I totally agree with Freddie. I think Freddie is on like a whole new level of just the way he approaches music, and even the way, Schoolboy. I think Schoolboy is just so relaxed right now, man.
Bro,
I think he's just doing something different, and he his interviews have been really, really kind of he's kind of reborn in a sense.
For sure.
That whole
golf.
just breakup. I mean, golf. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, ultimate of calm, right?
Yeah.
You can't golf without that like mindset. So
Yeah.
if he's approaching music like his golf game, I mean, it's really cool to see. I don't know, like the evolution of Schoolboy has been really fun to watch. I feel like there's some crazy work like coming from him.
Yeah.
And production wise too. I really liked Rhapsody's album. I actually was talking about it like with you guys in the chat, and I just was like, I still need to get through this record. Man, my goodness, she is rapping like she always does this. Like I think it's so slept on, and it's frustrating. Like no one just gives her the time of day. But man, she would just like body some male MCs. She's crazy.
Yeah, she dropped right around the time when I was like back and forth moving and whatnot. So as well, like that album dropped at a point where it's a lot of stuff in the past probably month and a half that I had to go back to what's the album? Not K-Tronada just dropped. I had to go back through Schoolboy, and there was another album I had to go back through. Buddy. I had to go back through Buddy's album.
Oh, I forgot about Buddy, man.
Insane record. One of my favorite albums this year.
But I would agree.
Buddy dropped this year.
I had to go back through Sir. Sir album is fire to me. So
yeah, I feel like that's your record. I have a feeling that's your record of the year already.
Sir, no,
Sir,
not yet.
Sir,
well, yeah, I got a lot of Sir on there. Come on, what you got, man? Best verse. What you got, man?
Yo, I got that Freddie Gibbs as well, but that's actually probably the one that I'm going to mention here today. It's probably the first verse from Blue Slides, Schoolboy Q.
Opening track.
And it's not quite the opener. It's like maybe the third or fourth.
Oh, Blue Slides. I've been floating through your whole oh yeah, the jazzy type.
But the jazziness of that song and
he's rapping,
the sincerity in that verse.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm rocking. I'm thinking the whole album is about to sound like that. I mean,
same.
he's in a very contemplative state right now.
Yeah.
And that verse hit me when I first heard it, just where I was in life. I'm like, yo, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm feeling Schoolboy right now. So yeah, that first verse from Blue Slides, Schoolboy Q.
Yeah.
That would be my vote. We going.
Sorry, I was gonna say though, my verse was Rhapsody. The track is called Meteors.
Okay.
And, yeah.
and like the whole song, she does not stop. First of all, like it's just so continuous. But even just like a quick snippet would just be that quick chorus is just, I went from rock boy to hot boy to hit boy to them boy to big
Yeah.
boys. Y'all threw some racks at me, I threw back asteroids. Y'all crazy, I'm crazy. I think
Yeah.
it's absolutely insane. Like I spit that oh my god shit to rearrange your molars. This is for the culture. This rap shit, that rap shit I'm underexposed to. Almost went MIA. Like it's
Yeah.
just nuts, man. It's
Yeah.
like you read it and you're just like, oh my god, like she's nuts, man.
Yeah, that's a good track. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good track. I know what you're talking about. For sure, for sure.
All right, we got Rhapsody, Freddie Gibbs, and Schoolboy. All
Schoolboy
right.
Q. Yeah, yeah.
All good
Uh,
awards.
For sure. For sure.
let's
And
do.
people are gonna hear this and forget that some of this stuff dropped, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Best track so far.
I'm gonna come out and say, for me, this was really hard with the year that we've had.
Yeah.
But the energy for me, and I'm not. This is. It was hard because I wanted to pick Euphoria. I wanted to pick Not Like Us.
Okay.
But if it weren't gonna be, if I was gonna pick Euphoria, but the energy of Back to Me and the energy surrounding it. I actually heard that song before it got released, and it was like in a different form a little bit.
Yeah.
But the drums, everything about it, I'm rocking with it. I like that. Kanye is follow the sky. All in the middle, all in the middle. But then at the end is when we get Freddie's verse, and he ends the song like. It's not a bunch of bars after his verse ends.
As it shouldn't be.
My vote goes to Back to Me, man.
Okay.
My vote goes to Back to Me.
I'm gonna throw in a monkey wrench, and you probably this song is on the playlist, but there's a song I just connect with a lot.
Yeah.
One of my favorite female MCs is this young lady named Lil Sims out of UK. There's a song that ends out her Drop 7 project called Far and Away. The Drop 7 joint in general is more like a dance type album, has a lot of Afro beats inspired and whatnot. But the song, just the ambiance and how good the song makes me feel is why that's my pick. So if you like What Is Far Away by Lil Sims, like put that joint on, man. It's gonna be on the playlist as well. So if you listen and you check the playlist out, that'll be on there for you.
Yeah, beautiful track. Beautiful album. I mean, Sims isn't missing for the most part.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say, this is just my own, like the song that is essentially playing so much is off of this album Nascent. He's a producer, but it's all featuring artists. He's got this track called Spinning the Block, which is with BJ Chicago Kid.
Yes.
And
that song is good.
Maxo Cream and Paul Wall murders this song.
That song is good. I was gonna ask you about that. Like, so Nascent, he's a producer.
He's a producer. Sometimes you just turn on your phone and there's an album in front of you. It says, hey, we think you might like this. I like the artwork. I just clicked it. I saw the guests on the record. I'm like, what is this? I looked up Nascent. Never heard of this dude. He's been producing forever, but he's just kind of getting like real views and listens now. He got his start. He met Dr. Dre at a party, and Dre basically said, come downstairs, play me your best beats. And he had like 9 or 10, and Dre just kept saying, nah, like really just making him feel like shit. And then he finally got to one, and Dre like shook him. He's like, that's that shit. He's like, this is what you got to do. And he was like, that was literally the best moment of my life. I haven't really stopped making beats that's still then, but it's beautiful. It's got R&B. It's got, really like musical flows.
I gotta check this.
The features are great.
These features are crazy right now. I'm looking like, yo,
I was like, who is this guy? So I love this album, but I listen to Spinning These Blocks like every day.
Spinning
It
These
is
Blocks,
such
okay.
a vibe. It is such a vibe.
Yo,
BJ
I
the
was
Chicago Kid, Maxo Cream. What? I
Oh,
gotta
I
hear the
know.
joint.
I know.
I was busting a left coming into like my little area, and I'm like, is that Maxo?
Dude, Maxo's great.
And
Man,
I'm like,
Paul Wall? Like,
then I'm
come
like, is
on.
that Paul Wall? Like, cause Paul Wall ends it out. I'm like, and I look like, who the fuck is Nascent? So I pull up the album in Spotify. I'm like, this is why I love having Dan on the show, because Dan is always gonna come with some stuff. It's like, wait, what is this?
Okay, so wait a minute. So real quick, we're talking about a playlist that is it available now as this is
Nah,
live? Because this will be live. This is Monday. This will probably be live by at least Tuesday or Wednesday.
absolutely, yeah.
So
You got to stop adding songs.
I'm done. Is the playlist should be live then right now, right?
The
Like,
playlist
yes.
is ready. I mean, it's just a click of a button, essentially.
all right,
And
cool.
I will make sure that, because what I usually do is I usually just take it and I mirror it on Apple. So I take it'll be on Apple and Spotify. So
Yeah,
for sure.
I gotta hear these joints, man. I didn't know. I'm not on Spotify, and I didn't know about this Spinning These Blocks joint. But this is good that I get to hear the joint, because it's a lot of features on this album.
I think it's our best work. I think it's our best work.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're just listening more and more, guys. I think our ears are to the ground. I think it actually challenges us to actually bring more to the table each year too. Yeah,
Right.
there's a lot of stuff. There is a lot of stuff here that you guys put that I don't know. So I like the what was it, the Colonco, the orchestra.
I was just gonna say the Colonco Orchestra.
Oh, I listen to the whole record.
see, OT be on that world music.
I
type
went
stuff.
on that. I heard the first one. I was like, was this
Bro,
a mistake?
That's how it be. It'd be like, what is this? And one day I just clicked on it. I clicked on. I'm like, what is that? Count Your Blessings song? Fire.
Yeah,
that's a barbecue. That's we grilling up. We can grill off that.
I actually, you know how you guys always say like mess with the order.
Yeah,
I started the playlist with that joint.
I like it.
Yeah,
you gotta count your blessings. Count your blessings, man. You gotta do it.
Yeah,
all right.
super.
This may be the hardest part here, but we have to do it. Best album of the year so far. This is what gives Kamal the anxiety. This is what gives Kamal the stress of how he's looking right now on the screen for those just listening.
Man,
doesn't want to do this.
All right, so I'm gonna keep it real, man. I don't have one. G.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
I don't have one. Best album. I'm gonna keep it real, man. No, I like a lot of songs from a lot of albums, but there hasn't been an album where I felt like I could listen to this like back to back. So I even listened to the latest No Worries album, and I like it. I don't like it as much as I like the first one, but I do like it. It's much more sultry.
It's too soon. It just dropped 2 days ago.
It just dropped 2 days ago. It's much more sultry and sexy and chill than the first one. The first one has a mix of highs and lows, but this one is much more dialed back, chill all the way through.
What's getting the most spins though on your phone? What's telling you like you listening to this a lot? Like maybe that is your answer right in front of you.
I mean, Mach Hami dropped, and I was listening to a lot of Mach.
Yeah,
it's a good album.
K Tronada, when he dropped, I listened to the album probably like 3 or 4 times, because especially toward the end, it's like very dancey, very. All these songs are like a jam.
Hey, listen, look here. I know it just dropped, but as of right now, I'm not gonna lie, that's my pick right now. That's my pick.
That's my pick.
I haven't stopped listening to it since it came out.
It's a
But
very full album.
that's because I be dancing and I be in a I'm always doing something that requires I love lyrics, right? Obviously, like this is a hip hop show, but right now, I don't think another album this year has brought me back. Besides Schoolboy, Schoolboy will be right there with this one, but that K Tronada joint for me right now, man. Like I really, really like. Bruh, hold on, just let me some of the songs on because we didn't talk about this album yet. No, we did on a couple, right? We talked about this on the.
We didn't talk about it like officially, like we didn't review it. If that's what you're saying, we didn't review it.
Please, babe.
Yeah.
Please, babe is huge,
bruh. That's like Chicago. That's like Chicago house picnic type. Like that'll send that joint up. But anyhow, I digress. That's me right now. I really like that album.
Please, babe, and then
Witchy is good.
Gee, from like Do to Me, Witchy, Lover Friend, Wasted Words, Snap My Feet. Like it's a run towards the end. It's like, yo, these songs is this whole like he's doing a DJ set. He's doing a full DJ set.
Yeah. I always like that he puts on a couple of new names for people to like discover as well. Like I think that's also like commendable as a big producer to like.
Yeah, like who is Lou Phelps? I'm like, oh my god,
Lou Phelps been around, but like
he got off.
That he's giving him a push. Like I think that's great. I don't really like Rochelle Jordan's track was really good.
Yep.
I love when they just they give us that a little snippet. Even like Charlotte Day Wilson, like she's Toronto artist. You know, Channel Trez, he's putting out a whole new album actually. So that's just a good like drop for him. But yeah, this is a ridiculous record. And the intro, honestly, I got very hyped for that intro. The pressure track. I thought I would like how you're saying
Jay-Z has sampled that
same thing.
Yeah. Okay. What did Jay? Somebody I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I don't know if it was Jay, but I've heard that for sure. But yeah,
it's really hard to like my favorite song. This is an incredible record. It's an incredible record.
What you got, Dan? What you got?
I mean, to be honest, I think I actually like I'm in love with this Nascent record. Like I actually do listen to it a lot. It's so like it's not all over the place. It really it's a story. And it's really beautiful. It's all about like just staying a kid and keeping your like inner artist for the rest of your life. And I don't know, he tells a really beautiful story, and the art again, it's like producer exposing us to a lot of new artists. I just love the beauty of that, like putting other people on, and now all these people are getting looks on their own accounts because of this beautiful record. It's really commendable as an artist to just be so selfless and be like, we're gonna make this record and I'm gonna make like everyone famous. We're gonna all get famous together. But yeah, it's a beautiful record, man. It's like again, I just thank you, internet gods, for just making it happen.
It be like that, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
We may have a consensus. I don't know. I think it's a one person that's really winning the year so far.
I think it's almost obvious.
I think it's the person winning the year, but I wonder if we're all on the same page. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that
years ago, and we just gave him his own award because he's still in his own master class. And I just like, without even dropping an album, I think
it sounds like we all on the same page. I don't know.
I think we should is 100% on top of the board for winning. I mean, and if it's not him, it's J. Cole for just having the presence of mind to fucking walk out of this shit and have arguably maybe the best record as well.
I love it.
Because Cole, I mean, living large, and Mike.
So then who you got, Dan, for who's winning the year?
Kendrick.
I would like to say Kendrick, and then if people disagree, then it's got to be Cole. Like, come on.
I got K.
I can definitely tell you who's losing this year.
Hey, Minor. Hey, it's over.
Bro.
I mean, he's quiet as hell. Trust me,
Bro. He has to be
putting out. You know,
he's reflecting somewhere.
Yeah. Well, Guan, the one joint with Delilah, I don't know what that is, but
I can't. I don't even know. Is that real? I don't even know if that's real.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's real or what's going on. They're saying it's AI, but anyway, yeah, Kendrick. We witnessed one of the now 2024 is going down as like, you know, one of the best battles that we've ever witnessed, and we got to witness it like in a way that we've never were able to witness it, and that is live and in person, and they are dropping songs presently like at that moment in time. We don't have to wait for an album to come out, as we had to do with like Blueprint or with Stillmatic. Like we're hearing this as soon as they make the song, it's coming to social media and digital streaming platforms immediately. And in my opinion, we found that Kendrick is a superior song maker, and he made better songs than his opponent. You know what I'm saying? And not just like diss songs, but just better songs. The artistry of what he did versus his opponent. You know what I'm saying? The songs that he put out were so well done, so well composed. The artistry of it was far better than what his opponent put out. And it was hard not to put Euphoria or Not Like Us as one of the best tracks of the year. It was hard not to choose like Euphoria as one of the best verses, or even like the Not Like Us last verse where he breaks down the Atlanta stuff going on.
Yeah,
as one of the best verses of the year. But I couldn't do that just because it was in the context of a beef.
What?
Of a battle.
It happened.
It happened. That's true.
Bro.
But I couldn't be. I didn't want to. I felt like it was so much like spectacle of that whole thing that it wasn't completely fair. I would have to judge it by.
Exactly. What?
Right. But I would definitely say Kendrick is winning the year. He definitely won the battle, in my opinion. And I'm a fan of both.
Me as well. I love Family Matters. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not a big fan.
That joint is
big fan.
If he removes, I still stand by. If he removes the middle part, that may be the best song of the 100%.
There's no way that's beating. There's no way in any form that is beating Euphoria or Not Like Us.
He is smoking Kendrick in that last verse. That last verse is very underrated, and to do it in a singy, songy way and still be lyrical is that whole Michael Jackson Jermaine thing. How he flipped that shit was hard. But
that's one line versus the man. The man had the song of the summer with Not Like Us.
Oh, absolutely. That's a bop.
It's going crazy. Like it's playing at 8th grade graduations, and they're singing it. They're going crazy over it.
For non-people of color. It was like a bunch of like a bunch of the thing I sent you. Yeah, dude.
Yes, I would say K-Dot is winning. Has won the year. Like
absolutely.
The only thing if he were to drop an album right now, he's going platinum.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a curveball. I'm gonna throw a curveball, and we can end out. What's predictions for the remainder of the year? And that's one of my predictions right now. I think I think he's gonna come out with an album that cements. I don't think he needs anything else to really put him up there with the GOATs. But I think I think Kendrick is gonna drop an album that's gonna further solidify this year, his place in the game. That's one of my predictions for the remainder of the year.
I'm gonna be real.
Safe bet.
Safe bet. House money.
This guy Kendrick, man. I can't bet on him dropping an album this year. I thought that he was gonna drop an album shortly after the Family Ties joint with Baby King, and he did not drop it until like the following year, the Mr. Morale joint. It was kind of, I was like, now will we get a J. Cole album this year? I think that's more likely.
Okay.
I think that's more likely toward the end of the year. Once the dust settles and everything settles with the beef, I feel like Drake might drop something this year, just to kind of get his train back on track a little bit. I don't know, but
I don't even know where I don't want to end here, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
At first I thought that this wouldn't really stain him or hurt him, but I'm kind of in a different mindset now. I don't know where he goes from here.
Yeah.
Be honest with you, I thought that this wouldn't matter that much, but I think in context with how things are, I think it does. I want to see what he does next, and I think whatever he does next needs to be calculated. Like I don't know, man.
It's already getting calculated. He's calculated.
It has to be good. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I just think on that same tip, he's got to mature the fuck up. He's got to literally change the way he writes and change his topics and be more relatable. Because man, you've lost the majority of the older generation.
Like, but he don't care about that though.
Yeah, but he has to though.
But eventually, like, I don't know, man. You're gonna be old news. And like you gotta conform a little bit if you want to be a bit more relative to what's happening.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would just like some real conscious shit from him.
That's the thing. Let me just say this after you said that, because it's funny because we was upstairs, the whole family. We was listening to the diss tracks in order yesterday. We was hanging out and kicking it, and then I threw on the Sexy Red joint that he's featured on recently.
Right.
And I'm like,
same old Drake.
But that's what I'm. But to Dan's point, that's what I'm saying. That's now after Kendrick did what he did, I'm looking at that in a different light. Like this, I expect, like, wow, this is what Kendrick is saying. Like
same old Drake, same old
shit.
Pandering to talking about BBLs
and that's not working. That song ain't popping. That's what I'm saying. It's not. Had he not had a beef, that song would be turned right now. And it's not. It's not. You just said the Wugga One joint. I don't know if it's real or not, but we don't care.
Right.
And I'm starting to feel like he doesn't care either. I think it's just like the corporate artist meets the dedicated artist, and it's just two different worlds. You use a computer, I use paintbrushes.
Yeah, he's definitely it's definitely gonna affect his next project. But I think he's putting out the Sexy Red joint to almost show that it's not gonna affect his content. But that song is not doing the numbers I think he expected it to do.
That's what I'm saying though.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a corporate artist, if you're he has to, at some point he has to reevaluate. And that's what's crazy. Kendrick was saying, like, bro, I'm putting a mirror up, bro. I'm finna make you. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's so mean.
Hey man, look, Kendrick. Hey, look. He didn't know what Drake didn't know what he was doing when he said he put out that Taylor Swift joint, baiting him to come outside. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? You asked for it. You asked for it. You asked for it, and you were ill prepared. And Kendrick was prepared. He came and he said, "I'm a stack these songs up." He came war ready.
Yep.
And he said, "You about to drop a song? I'm about to drop 2 songs."
Yeah, that was great. Like that one in
That's
the morning,
insane.
like drop where people are
Yeah.
messaging me late at night, like, bro, he just dropped it already. I was like, what?
He just dropped. That was so electric.
That was the best part.
electric.
That was the best part. That was like
Yeah.
the gong of the Undertaker. It was just like, what? He's coming
Yeah.
back?
Right.
And then have you guys heard? So Drake has also, I think he removed all the diss songs at this point.
Did he?
I would too.
That's what I think. I think the last one that he dropped is gone.
He removed them from. I thought he just removed them from social media. But
Okay.
are they might still be on streaming platforms.
The Once You Caller is gone. What was the last joint that he dropped?
I don't even know.
Exactly. We don't even know what the last song was. But I don't.
Well, Family Matters is there. Push Ups is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all.
He removed the other one because the other one was there too, but he removed it. The heart part 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my predictions are.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
I think Common and Pete Rock are gonna drop an absolute classic. Absolute classic.
Hey, it's sounding very nostalgic.
I think we're all gonna love it. I think it's gonna be at every barbecue and every summer jam. And then this is a hot take, but I really do think that LL Cool J is gonna fucking shock people with his record. I think it's gonna be bigger than we think. I think it's gonna be way bigger than we think.
So I just saw the video for the joint with Rick Ross and Fat Joe. And Q-Tip did the beat.
I know. And apparently he produced like majority of the record.
Yo.
For LL?
It might be LL.
Who's been working on this project for a long time.
I'm going to check for it.
Yo, I just heard it the other day, and I'm like,
this
verse is
crazy. I like LL's verse a lot. And you know
this
what?
Might be,
no voice like him. I don't know, man. I feel like, maybe it's my old ways, but I think he has like
I think he might shock people.
Like potential.
I'm kind of with you on that. I'm kind of with you.
I think he's the Luda of that generation, as to where he doesn't like he doesn't like people forget LL, and they're not comparative in any way really, because LL is more of a. But I mean, just from the standpoint of like, if you go through LL's catalog and his songs that he's dropped, it's like, damn, the same way you would go through Ludacris. Like, wait a minute, Ludacris had a run of like.
Ludacris did have a run.
Craziness, and they don't really get that. But I'm gonna check. I didn't even know LL was dropping. I'm gonna have to. Yeah,
I didn't know it either until I saw the video. I saw it on Twitter.
Now Pete Rock and Comment. Look, this what I think about that. I think that, and come on, we've talked about this before. There are certain times when artists reach back, and it doesn't sound dated. It just gives you a glimpse of that time. Like when we covered Young Jeezy joint with DJ Drama, I was like, this is like 2006 when when that trap era, whatever. I think that Common and Pete Rock gonna hit on that reminisce over you type era. Like it's gonna be intentionally from that era, and we gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's gonna be pure nostalgia.
Yeah, and I think actually Pete Rock is a better. Is one of the few older producers that doesn't have like a whole lot of work out currently that can make something current that still sounds still got like the nostalgic boom bap feel. I gotta be honest, man. Like when I hear like some new Premiere stuff, a lot of times it's like, it's kind of
you've heard it because you've been hearing Premiere for a while now, right?
Yeah, and
it's weird to say that about someone you love so much too, right?
Yes,
it's like you, DJ Premier, are too cookie cutter of your own self. It's like, it's like you're so you. It's annoying. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you even say that to an artist? It's like, you can't change what he does. I mean, those scratches and those samples, it's like that's
what he
like
does.
Calling card. It's like how it's supposed to lay out. But yeah, if you hear it, if it doesn't sound like Premiere, is it Premiere? We don't know.
Yeah.
When I go back and like when I think about the before this Common joint, with Pete Rock. You know, he did the Joy from the Watch the Throne album. And that's
Classics.
a
That's a good
good
song.
song. That's a good
These
song.
are the joys. Yeah.
And I'm like, man, no, Pete Rock can give you a project that sounds nostalgic, but also, you know, it has elements in it that are refreshing and new. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And I think that joining up with Pete Rock, because I only heard the one track like a week ago. You know,
it comes out this week, I think.
Does it really?
They got 2 singles out, and then the most recent one came out last Friday.
Okay. Oh wow!
Which samples that Aretha Franklin track.
I gotta hear it.
It's fantastic, man.
Yeah, like I like that prediction though. I like that prediction for sure.
I think it comes out. It doesn't come out just yet. I think they're gonna really bring it out slowly. But your old Droog has a new one coming. Lupe Fiasco's new records, I think, is gonna be very good. The 2 singles are very good, man.
Both of them, yeah. He's one of them ones, man.
Oh my god. I just feel like I just like his approach. I think just taking time and focusing on it and not just putting it out for the sake of putting it out. That's why I love Lupe.
Bro, Drogo's Wave is a good album. You hear me? Drogo's Wave is a fucking good album.
Nah, I mess with
the tracks are long too.
Yeah, it's a long ass album, but that was a good album.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed that.
He has enjoyed that. I forgot all about that joint. Drogo's Wave.
That's how it be. You
and
forget
it was a super long album, man.
Bro, before we get and that's another thing, man. Sometimes you just forget about stuff like, bro, what's the Elzai joint, the Elzai Jericho Jackson. When last time y'all listened to Jericho Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's such a good one too.
You see?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's Elzai got a joint right now.
There's a new project out. There's a new project out already.
The preface.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to that joint, man.
This is the problem. Like there was so much stuff.
It's too much music, guys.
This podcast. I was like, how did I miss all of these records? I just like, you think you're on top of it, and there's no way. It's the unbelievable amount of talent. That, and not to mention just the talent out of Toronto. Like the underground here is just so good right now. Yeah. Like Roshan has a new project. Thelonious is dropping his new one. Gritfall. This kid's like 19 years old. He's unbelievable.
Wow.
There's like really exciting things. And Roz Fresco is like kind of the king of our underground right now. He's putting out projects with everybody.
Is he from Toronto?
He's from Toronto, yeah. And he just did
I don't think I know
did a record with Cook and Soul.
Yeah.
And now he did one with another like OG producer. He's just making records constantly. It's actually insane how the work regimen of these guys is nuts.
Yeah, man. I got Roz Fresco makes beats too, doesn't he?
He makes tons of beats. Yeah, he loves I think even like you guys would get along great because he's always like busting out like the new like whatever gadget gizmo like in his pocket. He's like making beats right off the stop. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, man. I know.
What's his name? What was that?
Roz Fresco.
R-A-Z. Fresco.
Yeah, he's from the Baker's Club, which also has like 6 Letter, Gritfall. They are a crew to not be messed with. They are unbelievable.
Yeah, because I wanted to shout out just real quick because I saw Roshan, Spinny, and all of them cats when they came here for Chicago for that tour. And there was a cat that was on stage making beats live. I forgot who was on tour with them, man.
That may have been Eric Gordon, or
it wasn't. Eric Gordon was DJing. It was a
Fresh Kills.
Fresh Kills. That cat is nice.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
That guy plays that drum machine like I've never seen anybody in my life, and like not looking, just like like I can know, like it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's what's up. I'm trying to get that good, man.
Well, look, Dan, we can't wait till you get here in November because right now we kicking it right now like we supposed to kick it in November. You know what I'm saying? These are the conversations we got to. But Beers and Bars, we appreciate you, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out the playlist. It is available right now on Spotify and Apple. So yeah, man. Halfway Point, Laylow Beers and Bars. We'll see y'all next time.
Hell yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, y'all.